Hello all, I'm Guna Madhivanan from Officers IAS Academy. Friends, we are coming up with an exclusive live quiz program based on current affairs targeting 2024 prelims on a weekly basis. So every Saturday at 6 p.m. in our Officers Path channel, we will be coming up with this live quiz program. So how to participate? So for which you have to install an mobile application. So go to either App Store or the Google Play Store to download this application named Kahoot application. Download and install it. Alright. So every Saturday at 6 p.m. in the live video, I will be giving you a 7-digit PIN. So you have to enter that 7-digit PIN in your installed application. In that Kahoot application, you have to enter that 7-digit PIN. Or we will give you a QR code. If you are not interested in installing the application, you can scan the QR code in the web browser. You can open the web page. In that you can enter this 7-digit PIN number and you can participate in this quiz program. So once you enter the 7-digit number, the application will ask you to give a username. So you have to give your username. Followed by your username, please give your last 4 digits of your mobile phone number. For example, my username is Guna8990, the last 4 digits of my phone number. So like that you can create your own username. That's all. You are ready to participate in the quiz. So in the live video, I will be showing you the question. The question will be followed by 4 options as usual, A, B, C, D. The 4 options will have a color code, right? So option A, red color, option B, blue color, option C, green color, option D, yellow color. So the 4 options will have 4 different color codes. So in your mobile phone, you have installed the Kahoot application, right? So the Kahoot application in your phone, in your device, it will show you 4 colored box, only 4 colored box. Only in the video which you are watching, in that live video, I will give you the question, followed by that 4 option I will be giving you. The 4 option will have a color code, right? So if you are going to choose A as the right answer, then A has red color, then in your mobile phone you will have a red colored box. You have to choose that. That's all. If the answer which you have chosen is correct, and if you have chosen that quickly, for every question we will give you 60 seconds. Assume that I am choosing A is the right answer, and I am choosing within 20 seconds, within 10 seconds, based on how quickly I choose the question. I have to choose the correct one and I have to choose it as early as possible. So the one who is choosing at the earliest will be given more points. So if I am choosing in 20 seconds, I will be given more points. If someone is choosing at 30 seconds, then relatively lesser points, right? So this is how the quiz will work. So at the end of the program, we will show you the leaderboard. Between the questions also, I will show you the leaderboard. At the end, I will show you the final leaderboard. The one with more number of points will be given a certificate, right? The idea of the quiz program is to provide you a real-time experience of solving the questions along with that competitive environment, right? I hope this program adds more value to your preparation. So along with this, we have a daily current affairs hit list series, daily answer rating initiative. So all these initiatives will give you a competitive edge in your 2024 prelims as well as mains. Right? I hope this adds more value to your preparation. So see you in the quiz. Till then, bye. Take care.
Hi friends, welcome to this quiz. Everyone is eagerly waiting for the exit poll results, which will start at 6:30 p.m. today, right? Who is going to form the next government? Of course, the real result will come on June 4th. I still remember when I wrote my prelims, and that was exactly 20 years ago, right? I think my prelims was on May 16th. And May 14th or 15th was the result day. So, actual counting, right? When the NDA lost and UPA came to power in 2004, the day before the prelims, I was more glued to the television set actually watching the counting of the election results than revising, right? But now at least now you don't have that problem. Of course, you're all interested in knowing what is the election result and who's forming the government and all that. But 16th will be your prelims. So stay focused. Huge heat wave across the country. Stay hydrated. Don't venture out. Feel fit, because unless you are fit, there's no point, right? So please take care of your health. You have revised enough, you have studied enough. It is just a question of revision, right? And stop taking mock tests and all after June 9th maximum. 2nd and 9th, Officers IAS Academy itself is conducting all India mock test, one in Chennai and one in Delhi and all that. So please feel free to take it. Please join it. It will be definitely useful. But after June 9th, for the last 1 week, just ensure that you are staying indoors, not going out in this heat unnecessarily. Just revise, relax and do well. So now let us start, 15 questions. Let us start one by one. All these are linked to the current affairs, right? It is linked to the current affairs, some static link to the current affairs or the current affairs itself directly, right? 15 questions, we'll go with it, and let us start now with the first question. So here we go for the first question. Let's start. Here we go. Yes. Consider the following statements with respect to expulsion of members from Houses of Parliament. 1. The Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha may expel any of its members by passing a motion, and expulsion of members is not provided in the Constitution but in the rules of procedure of the Houses of Parliament. Which of the above statements are correct? Think and answer. There was more than 100 expulsions that happened of the opposition members, especially. Not especially, only the opposition members, right? Usually only opposition members get expelled. But this was a huge number, more than 100, which happened during the winter session. People said it is against democracy. How can you expel so many members? Sorry, not expulsion. That was suspension. Sorry, I am confusing between the two. There was an expulsion of Mohua Moitra, right, from the Lok Sabha for a breach of privilege, as was found by the ethics committee, right? And that was what happened. So here we go. So this is the score, and guys, 17 people have got it right. The answer for this is 1 only. Please remember, expulsion can be done by passing a motion. That is what happened with Mohua Moitra. She was expelled because of some wrongdoing that was found by the ethics committee. There were issues surrounding it. I had written a text and context article also for that. You can see it in my Twitter handle. It's discussed in the book also, and in the monthly current affairs of Polity Simplified, in the month of November or December, if I remember rightly. Expulsion can be done by passing a motion, but expulsion is not specifically given in the Constitution or in the rules of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. It is part of the privileges of the House. The Supreme Court has given differing judgments on this, but it is inbuilt. The reason for vacation of a seat is only disqualification or resignation or death, obviously, or members moving to one other house and all that. Expulsion is not specifically provided in the Constitution, not specifically provided in the rules. It is just part of the privileges of the House, that it can even expel its members for wrongdoing. So the first statement is correct. By passing a motion, members can be expelled, but the second statement is incorrect. The answer is A. So let us see what is the scoreboard after the first question, leaderboard after the first question. Okay, Tabassum is leading, Simone close second, Leoda, Abhinaya, good. So that is wonderful. So now let's move to the next question. Right. So consider the following statements. Statement 1, right to property is a constitutional right under the Indian Constitution. Statement 2, acquisition of property by the state should be for a public purpose. So which of the following is correct in respect of the above statements? First statement, both the statements are correct. Second explains the first statement, which is option A. Both the statements are correct, but the second does not explain the first statement, which is option B. First statement correct, second statement incorrect, which is option C. First statement incorrect, second statement correct, which is option D. This is, many questions, not just in polity, in many subjects. This type of question was asked in 2023. Close to 30 questions were of this type, statement 1, statement 2 type. And it is expected that even in 2024 it may repeat itself. I will tell you a small trick after we see the answer. Wonderful. So 38 people who have scored B have got it right. Guys, both the statements are correct, right? But the second statement does not explain the first statement. So in fact, I have done a small reel which I'll put it in my Twitter handle and my Insta handle. You can watch it. I'm telling it to you for those of you who are participating in the quiz. Use the word because. Use the conjunction because. Read the first statement, add the word because, read the second statement. If it makes sense, then the answer is A. If it does not make sense, the answer is B. It may not work all the time, right? I don't give guarantee for that. But many times it will work. Read the first statement. Right to property is a constitutional right under the Indian Constitution. Correct. Because acquisition of property by the state should be for a public purpose. It's not explaining, no? Right? Because it was moved from a fundamental right under the 44th constitutional amendment. That would have made statement 2 is explaining statement 1. Here, both the statements are correct. And I picked this question because there was a recent ruling of the Supreme Court where the Supreme Court has said there are 7 sub-rights under this right to property. Right to, fair compensation, right to notice, right to hearing, right of, acquisition only for a public purpose, right of conclusion, 7 sub-rights. I have listed it in the monthly current affairs update of May 2024 in Polity Simplified book. So it is correct, but it does not explain the first statement. It is actually a sub-right under the first constitutional right of right to property. So use the word because. If it is making sense, then it is explaining. Because you say something because this is the reason, isn't it? That is what explanation is. If the word because is not making sense, then the answer is B. So the correct answer for this is B. So now let's go to the leaderboard again. Early days yet. Oh wow. Simone has come up and all the other 4 are new entrants, if I am not wrong. Wonderful. So this is like an exit poll result, right, which is going to be aired from 6:30 for the Indian election, right? So interesting. So let's move to the next question. Yeah. Right against climate change was recognized by the Supreme Court as a fundamental right under which of the following articles in part 3? So guys, this was a judgment which was given in the month of April, early April 2024 in a case which was about the solar system laying versus the Great Indian Bustard protection. The Supreme Court said right against climate change can be recognized as a fundamental right under 2 articles. Which are they? Wonderful. So 49 people have got it right. Wonderful. So it is Article 14 and Article 21, right to equality and right to protection of life and liberty. Under those 2 articles, the Supreme Court said right against climate change can be recognized as a fundamental right under Article 14 and Article 21. Right? This is a new judgment. Based on right to privacy judgment, right to marry in the Hadia case, there were prelims question that was asked. So if going by that same trend, the prelims question may be asked again, right? And Polity Simplified, the advantage of Polity Simplified for those of you, people who already have it, would have gone through the monthly current affairs updates. I bring all these updates in the form of a document and a video every month, and it is posted in the Edge platform. You buy the book. This is part and parcel of it. You scan it, you will have conceptual videos, practice questions, previous year solved answers for mains, knowledge enrichment content, and most important, monthly updates. You know, everything that happens every month, because polity is a dynamic field that way. Judgments come, amendments happen, such judgments come which can be tested. So everything is available to you as part of this one-stop solution. You can just scan it and go through it at the end of the month, make notes from it and revise it, right? Wonderful. So now let's see what happened to the leaderboard, whether it is swinging like, wow, Tabassum, who was out of the top 5, has now taken the lead again. And the rest of them, I think, you know, Deb is status quo, but the rest of them are again new entrants if I am not wrong. So wonderful. So Shankar has just hit a winning streak of 3. So all the 3 right. Right, so Shankar, it's just a question of, you know, you probably need to do it faster to be in the top 5. Wonderful, or in the top 3. Let's see. Let's go to the next question. Disputed territory between India and a neighboring country can be settled A, by an agreement between the government of India and the foreign country, B, by holding a plebiscite in the area concerned, C, by an amendment to the constitution, or D, by an act of parliament. Again, there was a lot of, you know, political noise about the Kachativu, which is a small islet or an island, very small area, which was, you know, there was an agreement reached between India and Sri Lanka in 1974, which became a political issue during the elections. Wonderful, again, 44 people have got it right. The correct answer is A. Guys, any ceding of territory to a foreign country or acquisition of territory from a foreign country requires a constitutional amendment as per the Berubari opinion of the Supreme Court in 1960. So, you know, recently the 100th constitutional amendment was for exchange of territory between India and Bangladesh. Earlier, Goa, Puducherry, Sikkim, all those were added through constitutional amendments. So, Berubari insert was regularized through the 9th constitutional amendment. So, ceding or acquisition of territory is only through a constitutional amendment. But in another case, in I'm forgetting the year, I have updated it in the monthly current affairs update. The Supreme Court subsequently, I think 1969 or some year like that, in another case, the Supreme Court held that if it is a disputed territory, then you don't need a constitutional amendment. Because it is a disputed territory, right? You know, both are claiming, both India and that neighboring country are claiming. This was relating to some area which was agreed to with Pakistan. That was, you know, it is based on that judgment that the Kachativu was also agreed to with Sri Lanka through an executive agreement between government of India and the Sri Lankan government. Because it is a disputed territory. So the answer is A for this, right? Wonderful. So let's see whether there is any change in the leaderboard. Wonderful. So everything is new. Now this is like real, you know, T20 IPL just got over, T20 World Cup is starting today, right? So this is becoming more like a T20 zigzag, you know, seesaw battle. I'm sure such things will happen. Exit polls will say something, but I'm sure on June 4th in many constituencies, such battle is going to happen where somebody comes up after one round, somebody comes later after one round. At least some of the constituencies will be a tough fight. So this seems to be similar to that, right? So Belfina is the highest climber, up 17 places. That's wonderful. And keep it up. And Vaidehi, Pragadesh, Monisha, Varsha, all new entrants in the top 5 and top 3. Wonderful. Now let's move to the next question. Consider the following statement with respect to star campaigners for a political party. So guys, these are all static in a way, but they're all linked to current affairs. You know, I have written more than 10 articles since the election was announced on various aspects. And there are questions based on that: star campaigners, recognition of political party, nomination papers, proposers. All these were in the news, right? And all these are covered in the political, political system, chapter 23. And all these updates are there in the monthly updates. They are so much in the news because of the election time, and you should cover all aspects of it. Even if one question comes out of this, that's a great thing. You should be thorough with it. So what is star campaigners? They are appointed by political parties and they may or may not be members of such party. Recognized political party can appoint a maximum of 40 and registered unrecognized party maximum of 20. Expenditure of star campaigners incurred towards general campaign of their party is added a portion to the expenditure of the contesting candidates of such party. How many of the statements given above are correct? 53 people have said B is the answer, but unfortunately that's the wrong answer, guys. Right? The correct answer for this is A. First statement is incorrect. Under the Representation of the People Act, I think section 77 of the Act deals with the star campaigners. It says the star campaigners have to be members of the political party. So first statement is incorrect. Second statement is correct. 40 for recognized parties, 20 for unrecognized registered parties. Second statement is correct. Third statement, if it is for general campaign of the party, the star campaigners expenditure is not added to the candidates. Only if they campaign for a candidate, if the candidate is in the dais with the star campaigner and they see quotes in the name of the candidate, then it is added to their cost or apportioned to them. Let's say there are 5 candidates. You would have seen in many rallies, Prime Minister is having 5 candidates or some other opposition leader is having 5 candidates and saying please vote for these 5 people. Then the cost of that meeting is apportioned. Right? But if they are generally campaigning for the party, no cost is apportioned. So the third statement is also incorrect, and the correct answer is only one statement, which is the second statement, which is correct. So I am sure there is going to be a significant change in the leaderboard. Let's see what happens. Oh wow, not a significant change. Monisha has climbed up, has a streak of 4 correct answers in a row. Wonderful. And Vaidehi has dropped. But still, you can catch up. All others can also catch up. Wonderful. So, small change. Let's go to the next question. Consider the following statement with respect to nomination papers submitted by candidates. Surat declared unopposed, right? Because the nomination papers of the Congress and even the substitute candidate were rejected because their proposers claimed that their signatures have been forged, right? And there was a nomination paper of a leading comedian from Rajasthan who wanted to contest against the Prime Minister, but his nomination papers were rejected in Varanasi, right? Again guys, why nomination papers were rejected in Surat, why they were declared unopposed, all this is covered in my monthly current affairs update. So guys, these are small areas which are, you need to know about Election Commission, you need to know about Representation of People Act, you need to know about the basic details in the Constitution. Those are what is there in the book, in any standard book, including Polity Simplified. But these are small things which can suddenly come up as a big issue. And where do you revise it from? From the monthly updates in Polity Simplified. And I've even written an article on this Surat matter in the Hindu. Okay, so 35 people have said A is the answer. 16 people have said B is the answer. Unfortunately, both of them are wrong. The correct answer for this is C. Both are correct. You need to take an oath as per the third schedule. That is the reason why the nomination paper of the Varanasi candidate was rejected. Apparently, he did not take the oath. I mean, the returning officer has to ensure that the oath is taken, whatever happened there. But that was one of the reasons. And he had also, I think, failed to furnish the affidavit. Both these reasons. His was rejected. And the nomination papers of the Congress candidate and the substitute candidate in Surat was rejected because they forged, or at least they claimed that our signatures are forged, right? But then, what is the number of proposals required for a recognized party? 1. What is the number of proposals required for an unrecognized party or an independent candidate? 10. And they must be electors from that particular constituency. See, you can contest elections from anywhere. Mr. Modi, who is a voter in Gandhinagar in Gujarat, is contesting from Varanasi. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who is a voter in New Delhi, is contesting from Raebareli and Wayanad. Right? Smriti Irani, who is a voter in Delhi, is contesting from Amethi. Right? So that is possible. You can contest from anywhere in the country for Lok Sabha. Right? But the proposers have to be voters or electors in that particular constituency. And for recognized party, there has to be one proposer. For unrecognized or independent candidates, there have to be 10 proposers. So both the statements are correct and the answer is C. Now let's see what happens to the leaderboard. Monisha, she didn't get it right, but still, this is like close 4587, 4586. So guys, 1 mark separating the leader. Varsha, well done. So 1 mark separating, right? If there is a tie, if in election, if there is a tie, they put a toss, right? That is how it is decided as per the Representation of the People Act. So, but in MP election, very unlikely that it will come that close. But I'm sure there will be less than 1000 votes margin. I'm linking it to the election, guys, because that is the hot topic now, right? For all others except UPSC aspirants, for whom June 16th is the most relevant topic, right, of prelims. Anyways, so interesting times ahead, as they say. 16 places up, Venkat, I'm assuming, right, as up 16 places is the highest climber. Wonderful. So let's go to the next question. Consider the following statements with respect to the Citizenship Amendment Act. Rules were notified in March 2024. Again, it's an important current event. Where do you go to? You have public sources, but Polity Simplified book is a one-stop solution. I keep saying that because everything that happens every month is updated in the monthly current updates. So I'm just saying that because you will definitely find it useful, guys, and a one-stop solution, right? Of course, even for mains, the model answers are there, which I have prepared, so you will find it useful. For those of you who are taking up the 2025 prelims, definitely treat it as a one-stop solution. You don't have to go anywhere else. Everything, concepts, provisions, current updates, everything will be there as part of this package, right? Anyways, this is an important rules which came up, and I just did not bring the rules into the question, but I just asked about the Amendment Act provisions, right? So wonderful. 53 people have got it right. Answer is A. The first statement is correct. It gives accelerated citizenship to non-Muslims, Hindus, Christians, Buddhists, Jains, Sikhs and Parsis from the 3 neighboring countries of Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. First statement is correct. Second statement is incorrect. The cutoff date is 31st December 2014, not 2019, right? And so the second statement is incorrect, and that is the answer for this question. Let's go to the leaderboard now. Oh wow, Varsha has climbed up, Manigandan has climbed up, Monisha has slipped to the 3rd place, Lakshya continues to be in 4th, Vaidehi has come back to the 5th, Eldo J 15 places up, highest climber, wonderful. So keep the spirit, guys. It's halfway mark. We still have, this is like a strategic timeout period, right? So 7 questions up or 8 questions, 7 questions up, 8 more questions to go. So anybody can catch up, right? It's like the slog overs of a match. Still not slog overs. This is the middle overs of the match, right? Where you need to consolidate. Let's see how it goes. And as I kept telling you, please keep this in mind. It's very hot outside. Stay safe for the next 15 days. Be in the pink of your health when you go to the exam, so that you can do it with all energy, right? So don't do night outs unnecessarily. Stay hydrated. Ensure that you are not unnecessarily venturing out, so that you are fine and your health is in the best condition possible when you go to the prelims, right? Now let's go to the next question. Identify. This is the chairperson and members of the National Human Rights Commission are appointed by the President on the recommendation of the 6-member committee. The committee does not include which of the following 4. So guys, this is an interesting question. See, there's an international organization which has deferred the rating of NHRC, for 1 more year. It's not a great thing to do, for the NHRC it is a black mark. They are trying to negotiate and ensure that the deferral status is removed. So it may not be a trigger for a question, right? Because it is not, it's an indictment on the NHRC, not a good thing to do. But still, because it is in the news, NHRC, how they are appointed, what are their provisions, I just picked one of those questions, right? So, who among the following is not part of the committee which selects the NHRC chairperson and members? And this is a slightly trick question. I knew everybody will think Chief Justice is there in almost all the committees, so he must be there. Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, not so important, so he may not be there, he or she may not be there. But guys, A is not the correct answer, the correct answer is D. The Chief Justice of India is not part of the committee. It consists of the Prime Minister, Speaker of Lok Sabha, Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, leaders of opposition in both the houses of Parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and the Union Home Minister. So, Chief Justice of India is not part of the committee that selects and appoints or recommends for appointment the chairman and members of NHRC. So, the correct answer for this is D. And only 13 people have got it right. So, we will have to see how many in the leaderboard got it right or got it wrong. Let's go and watch. Okay, so Arvind has climbed superbly to the top, right? Varsha, Manikandan, Monisha have slipped. Kavya is in the 5th position. Wonderful. So, Jiva has the highest answer streak of 3 in a row. Wonderful. So, let's go to the next question. Consider the following statements with respect to the Press and Registration of Periodicals Act 2023, PRPA 2023. It's a new law which was passed, and statement 1, statement 2 question. I told you, use the word because if both the statements are correct. If one is correct and the other is incorrect, then the option has to be C or D. If both are correct, then use the word because. You decide, and first you should know whether both the statements are correct or one statement is correct or incorrect. And if both the statements are correct, then use the word because. So, that is the trick that you can apply for all such questions of statement 1, statement 2. Most of the time it will work. I can't give you guarantee that it will, but 9 out of 10 times this technique will work. But for that you should know whether both the statements are correct or not. If one statement is correct or other statement is incorrect, but you assume both the statements to be correct, then you will anyways get it wrong, right? So, wonderful guys. 35 people have got B, but unfortunately that is not the right answer. 29 people have got it right, which is A. So guys, again, this is what I told you. See, it is, you will have to just, the PRPA is aimed at ease of access, doing business, and simplifying procedures for books, right? Because it has replaced an old law of 1867 which was very strict. That is the explanation, right? They may look like totally different statements, but you should, that's what I told you, it's not straightforward, but think, what is the first statement? PRPA is aimed at ease of access, ease of doing business and simplifying procedures. What is the second statement? It has replaced the law of 1867. Because that law was not so easy, because that law had lot of restrictions, because that was a British law, when they wanted to control the books and periodicals, because they did not want freedom fighters to publish whatever they want to publish at their will, and it happened right after the First War of Independence and all that, so they wanted to control. So, because that was a draconian law, because that was a difficult law, this law has been made for ease of doing business and for record and for registering and supplying books and periodicals. You understand? So, if you think for a minute, you will understand that okay, this is a law which is aimed at ease of doing business because the old law which was tough has been replaced. So, the correct answer for this is A. Right? So, now let us go and see the leaderboard. Wonderful. Varsha has got it right, I think, and that is why climbed up. Arvind has slipped. Manikandan continues to be third, if I am not wrong. Let's see. Sadiq has climbed 18 places. Wonderful. So, we could see Sadiq in the top 5 also after the next question. Let's go to the next question. We are going closer to the slog overs of the quiz. Consider the following statements with respect to medical termination of pregnancy Amendment Act 2021. Again, it was in the news in November 2023 when a 25-month fetus, the Supreme Court said we will not allow it to be aborted because there are no fetal abnormalities, though the mother felt she had mental trouble. It was a controversial or it was a debated judgment, but that can trigger a question about this amendment which happened in 2021, right? So this is what is static link to current affairs. And guys, for this you need to be aware of the current affairs, you need to follow them. And again I repeat, if you go and see the Edge platform, November 2023 monthly updates, this discussion would be there, right, which will help you in revising, noting it down and revising it. So the opinion of one registered practitioner will be required for up to 20 weeks and 2 practitioners for 20 to 24 weeks. Opinion of state level medical board is required for abortions over 24 weeks, and the provisions of MRTP are not applicable to a unmarried woman. And wonderful, 61 people have got it right. First 2 statements are correct, guys. For up to 20 weeks, 1 medical practitioner, 20 to 24, 2 medical practitioners, right? Beyond 24 weeks, it is only in case of fetal abnormalities, which is certified by a medical board constituted at the state or union territory level. In that case, which happened in November or December of 2023, the fetus was normal as per the AIMS medical report, and that is why the Supreme Court said it was a split verdict. It went to the Chief Justice and the Chief Justice said no, we cannot abort a healthy fetus, let her give it on adoption after the child is born. And there were some activists who said no, the woman should have right over her body, but this is a tricky thing. The law at least is very clear and the court cannot create a law, isn't it? After 24 weeks, only if there is a fetal abnormality, it can be aborted, which was not the case, but that is what is the trigger for this question, and it could be a trigger for the UPSC question as well. Secondly, so first 2 statements are correct, third statement is incorrect. The amendment extended this to even unmarried women. With a partner also, if there is any contraception failure or if there is rape or if there is any other reason, if the woman does not want the child, then 1 medical practitioner up to 20 weeks or 2 medical practitioners between 20 to 24 weeks can terminate the pregnancy. It extends even to unmarried women. Earlier it was only for married women. Now it is extended even to unmarried women. So the third statement is incorrect and the correct answer is B. So now let's see what happens to the leaderboard. Oh, Varsha stays on top. Arvind stays second. Monisha has climbed. Jenny is the highest climber, up 12 places. Manigandan and Kavya 4th and 5th trying to climb up, and I'm sure with effort they can do that. In the next questions, 2/3 over, balance 1/3. Let's go to the 11th question. As per the recent Supreme Court judgment, right to marry is a fundamental right, constitutional right, legal right, none of the above. So guys, this was a much talked about Suprio case, which was the same-sex marriage judgment in which the court said, no, we cannot interfere in this. It is for the Parliament to make the laws for giving recognition to same-sex marriages. And it said something about the right to marry, right? What did it say? That is the question. Go for it. Wonderful. 36 people have got it right. So guys, this, in Hadia case in 2018, the Supreme Court held that right to marry a person of one's choice is part of Article 19 and Article 21. And the correct answer for that question in 2018 that was asked is Article 21. But now in this case, the Supreme Court has said right to marry is not a fundamental right under our constitution. It is a statutory or a legal right which is provided by the Parliament or the state legislature. And so they said for same-sex couples, we cannot give a mandamus to the Parliament to enact a law. We cannot interpret the Special Marriage Act to say no, it can include even same-sex couples. We can only say that they should not be exploited, they should get the protection and all, but it is for the Parliament to decide. And there is no violation of a fundamental right because right to marry is not a fundamental right, but it is a legal right. So that is why the answer for this is C. 36 people have got it right. Let's see how many in the leaderboard have got it right. Wow. So I was just saying, Manigandan has moved up, if I am not wrong. Lakshya has moved up. Kavya continues to be in the 5th position. Monisha, Varsha, wonderful going guys. Ismail has the highest answer streak of 3 in a row. Wonderful. Good going. Let's go to the next question. Straightforward question. This people should just, fastest fingers first. It's going to be a straightforward question. Distribution of community reserves should subserve the common good is provided in the Indian Constitution in which of the following parts? Straightforward guys. Yes, I can see the answers going up like wildfire because it's a straightforward question. I am sure everybody will get it right. I am hoping that everybody will get it right. Yeah, there was a lot of debate on this. I had written a Hindu article, text and context on this about distribution of wealth and how it is linked to various parts of the constitution. So, wonderful. 60 people have got it right. For others who did not get it right, please go and revise it properly guys. Distribution of community resources to subserve the common good is Article 39B, which is in Part 4, Directive Principles of State Policy. Straightforward question. Let's go and see the leaderboard. What happened? Varsha continues to be on top. Monisha, Manigandan top 3. Kavya has moved up to 4th. And Aravind is now up to the 5th position. Abhishek is the highest climber, 10 places. Wonderful. Let's move to the next question. Consider the following statements with regard to parliamentary privileges. Again, there was a judgment relating to privileges, slightly controversial judgment in the past where they said even if you take a bribe, it will be protected by privileges. So MPs were allowed to take bribe. What a wonderful judgment that was long back that was given. But the Supreme Court reversed it and said nothing doing. Bribe is a criminal offence, privileges will not protect it. Right? But that can trigger a question relating to privileges. Understand guys? Because they are not going to ask you this recent judgment because that was a specific event, but that can trigger a question on privileges, and that is why I picked this question for today's quiz. The Parliament has enacted several laws to codify the privileges. Courts are prohibited from inquiring into the proceedings of the Houses of Parliament. Which of the statements given above are correct? Wonderful. 39 people have got it right. So guys, first statement is incorrect. That is the problem. Why, breach of privileges, anything and everything is considered as breach of privileges, and then people have to go to courts to quash the order against individuals and all that. So first statement is incorrect. The Parliament has not made any laws to codify the privileges, though the Constitution says till the Parliament enacts a law, the houses and the members will continue to enjoy the privileges which are enjoyed by the House of Commons. Right, so the first statement is incorrect. We are waiting for the day when the Parliament will enact such laws, which is unfortunately not happening. But the second question is correct. See, everything is subject to judicial review, but the Constitution says the courts cannot interfere into the proceedings inside the House. After a decision is made, that decision can be subject to judicial review. But the proceedings of the House are not to be interfered by the court. That is a privilege which is mentioned in the Constitution itself. Right. So the second statement is correct. Now let us see what happened to the leaderboard. Varsha continues to be on top. Monisha, it's status quo. The top 5 remain top 5 if I am not wrong. 10 players have reached answer streak 4. 4 questions on the trot. Right. Wonderful. So let's go to the guys. So this is real slog. Right. We are going to the last 2 questions. Yeah. I will give a 10-second strategic timeout now. Let the next question be put after 10 seconds so that people can regroup. I'll tell you when to put the next question and then put the next question. So guys, this is like the C8 strategic timeout that we have seen in the IPL, right? So people can have a sip of water, can just regroup themselves, and then we will know. And again, for the prelims, stay focused. Take the Officers IAS Academy mock test on 2nd and 9th for people who are outside the academy. After 9th, don't take any mock test, just revise, solve PYQs if you want, just practice CSAT, very important. You should not, one of the reasons why the cutoff came down this year was probably because CSAT, many people failed to qualify. So don't fear it, just be confident about it, but give it adequate focus even on the last 15 days, and please take care of your health, right? Because you already studied. In the last 15 days, nothing much is going to change, but please ensure that your health is in top form. Don't venture outside in this heat, stay hydrated and stay cool, right? Both physically and mentally, so that you are in the best shape on June 16th. Yes, strategic timeout is over. Let's go to the next question. Penultimate question. Question number 14. Consider the following statement with respect to the Telecommunication Act of 2023. Again, a new law that has been passed. Spectrum under the Act will be assigned only on the basis of auction for all purposes. Messages or class of messages between two or more persons may be intercepted or monitored in public interest by the government. And Digital Bharat Nidhi Fund will be used for research and development in telecom services, especially in underserved areas. How many of the statements given above are correct? You should know about the law, guys. This is a straightforward current affairs. You should know about this law. Again, this is covered in the monthly current affairs update, I think of December 2023. So anything that is current is also covered in the monthly updates on the Edge platform. I think that is the USP of Polity Simplified, which will help you in being on top of it. You just do not have to go to any other source for polity and polity related matters, or all such matters, new laws and all that come in. Everything will be covered as part of your Polity Simplified. Wonderful. So the correct answer for this is two statements. The first statement is incorrect for public purposes, for BSNL, MTNL, for national security. Now, there are exceptions when it can be done through administrative procedures. In fact, that is why they wanted a clarification on the spectrum 2G judgment of the Supreme Court, which was not accepted by the Supreme Court. Now, what happens in future we will see, but the law says that for specified purposes, it can be done through administrative measures and not through auction. So, the first statement is incorrect. The rest of the two statements are correct as per the Telecommunication Act. So, let's see what happens to the leaderboard now. Wow! Again, the same 5 on top. Pragatish is back with an answer streak of 3. Wonderful. But Varsha, Monisha, Manikandan continue to be in the top 3. Right. So, now let us see what happens to the last question. If there is any change in the top 3, let us go for the last question now. Consider the following statement with respect to the Special Marriages Act of 1954. Because there was news about same-sex marriage judgment and all that, I added this question. Right? Marriage under this act is recognized only between a man and a woman aged not less than 21 years and 18 years respectively. Each party to the marriage should not have any other subsisting valid marriage while registering their marriage under the act. Which of the statements given above are correct? So, there was a recent ruling by the Madhya Pradesh High Court about Special Marriage Act, slightly debatable judgment, because Allahabad High Court has ruled differently. This MP, Madhya Pradesh High Court has said that between a Hindu woman and a Muslim man will not be covered under the Special Marriage Act. But more importantly, the Suprio case, which is the same-sex marriage judgment, which I talked about earlier, that was also for recognition of same-sex marriage under Special Marriage Act, which the Supreme Court declined. Right? And the correct answer for this is C. Both the statements are correct. It recognizes union only between a man and a woman, not between the same sex, which was the relief that or the direction that was requested in the Suprio case, which the Supreme Court said no, we cannot give this because that is only for the Parliament to decide, and that is the reason why that judgment came. So that can trigger a question on Special Marriage Act. 21 years male, 18 years female. That is the law as on date. They should not have any subsisting marriages. The bigamy is not allowed, and they have to register under the Special Marriage Act. So both the statements are correct, guys. So let's see what is the final standing now. Let's go. Podium finish. Wow, Arvind has finished third, Kavya has finished second, and the winner is Varsha. Wonderful. Congratulations, Monisha, Manikandan, well tried. But congrats to the three winners, Varsha, Kavya and Arvind. Wonderful. Our admin team will get in touch with you. If you already have a copy of Polity Simplified which you have purchased, if you are our academy candidates, anyways you have it. If you are outsiders but you have purchased already Polity Simplified, there is no point in giving you another copy of the same book. I will give you Madras Mystery, which is a novel which was written by me after clearing the exam and all. When you have free time, you can go through it. But if you don't have Polity Simplified, our academy will reach out to you, and signed copies of Polity Simplified you will get. For all others, well tried. You would have learnt, I am sure, because of this quiz. Many of these questions are important because they are all linked to the current events, static plus current events, both put together. Potential, at least even if 1 or 2 questions come from this, the last quiz and this quiz. Last quiz we had 15 questions. I did not repeat any of the questions in this quiz. You can go to our website and watch the previous quiz also. And out of these 30 questions, even if 1 or 2 come, that is the real victory, right? Of course, great win in the quiz. But for all who participated, thank you so much. You can try Polity Simplified. It will be a one-stop solution, even for mains as well as for prelims. As I told you, stay hydrated, stay safe, and wish you all the best for the prelims on June 16th, and we'll continue to be in touch after that as well. Thank you guys, all the best.